In this devotional, I'm going to share with you 3 thoughts from Jeremiah 16, verses 14 through 18, where I'll ask the question, will God restore his people? Jeremiah 16, verses 14 through 18 says, "Therefore, behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when it shall no longer be said, as the Lord lives who brought up the people of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but as the Lord lives who brought up the people of Israel out of the north country and out of the countries where he had driven them. For I will bring them back to their own land that I gave to their fathers. Behold, I am sending for many fishers, declares the Lord, and they shall catch them. And afterwards I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and every hill and out of the clefts of the rocks. For my eyes are on all their ways. They are not hidden from me, nor is their iniquity concealed from my eyes. But first I will doubly repay their iniquity and their sin, because they have polluted my land with the carcasses of their detestable idols, and have filled my inheritance with their abominations." Jeremiah chapter 12 through 16 are pretty rough. It is a continual prophecy of doom against the people of Israel. And it's not until you get into chapter 16 that there's any hope given for the people of Israel at all. It's just gloom and doom, destruction. It's coming from the north. Here they come, the enemies of God. They're going to destroy the nation of Israel. But there in chapter 16 is a sign of hope. It's a sign of hope that even though this destruction is inevitable, even though it is definitely coming, this wrath of God for his own people, it is coming, the Lord will not allow them to remain destroyed, but he is in fact going to restore them. With this in mind, here are 3 thoughts from Jeremiah 16, verses 14 through 18, answering the question, will God restore his people? Thought number 1, the Exodus. There's this saying among the people of Israel that says, as surely as the Lord brought the people of Israel up out of Egypt. And it's a saying that allows the people of Israel to identify with this great act of the Lord. This great act where he takes his people from slavery, from bondage there in Egypt, and simply by his own power, not using any natural means, but supernatural means, the Lord brings his people up out of Egypt and then delivers them into the promised land. This is a great restoration for the people of Israel who, previous to their enslavement, had been free. They had been wanderers, they had been sojourners, but they were free. When Egypt enslaves them, they are in need of freedom given to them by God. So the Exodus allows us to see that the Lord had previously restored the people of Israel from slavery into freedom, and it's a little bit of an indication of how he's going to treat them in the future. Thought number 2, the return. The return is the inevitable future for Jeremiah, return of the people of Israel from exile back into the land of promise. This is something that the Lord promises them, that after 70 years in exile, they will be able to return. They'll be able to rebuild the city of Jerusalem. They'll be able to rebuild the temple and begin the worship of God there again. All of this is going to take place. It's going to take place. Jeremiah ain't going to see it, but it's going to happen for the people of Israel. They can hope that eventually the Lord will return them. And this prophecy that Jeremiah gives is one of hope. After all of this gloom and doom, it's one of hope, saying that the time is coming. It will come. It will come where we have to experience God's wrath, but an even greater time is coming where the Lord is going to restore his people and put them back into the land of promise and allow them to be his people again and participate in his worship again, even though they had failed to do it properly before. Thought number 3, ultimate restoration. Both these things, both the Exodus and the return from exile, are pointing to an ultimate restoration that the Lord is working out. And as Christians, we recognize that the ultimate restoration that takes place is in the consummation, when Christ returns in power and authority, and he recreates the world. That promise that, behold, I am making all things new, is the ultimate restoration that is going to take place. It's something that believers all look forward to. It's this hope, not only in our own resurrection from the dead, but it's our hope in the Lord coming and dwelling with us, where the Father, the Son, the Spirit make their dwelling place here with us, and we are able to fellowship with them in a way that remains mysterious to us now, but will be realized on that great day at the end of the age. These three thoughts come from the assigned reading of Jeremiah chapters 12 through 16. If you'd like to read through the Bible with me, you can do so by subscribing to this channel, by clicking on the link in the description, or by joining the Facebook group Through the Bible, where we are reading the text of Scripture together.